Okay, so before this video starts, this video is going to be very different when I originally planned it. I was going to make a video about how the summer games were a little disappointing this year. It wasn't that bad, we got some good skins, but it was just not enough, in my opinion. But boy, did they blast us out of the water with the newest developer update. So I guess I just got to talk about that now. Okay, well, let's start the video. Before I start this video, I'd like to say that thank you for the 50 plus views on my newest Stranger Things video. I really didn't expect it to get that big in such a short amount of time of me being on YouTube, and well, I just want to thank you for all your new subscribers who are finding my channel and trying to subscribe. I'm also going to make a couple more videos branching off of that video, but they're probably not going to be about the Stranger Things. They're going to be about some things that happened after the video was posted. Anyway, I'm going to start talking about Overwatch. So, we just got into the 4th year of Overwatch, and at the start of this 4th year of Overwatch, Jeff Kaplan, the developer of the game, they're the director of the game, made what's called a developer update. If you haven't watched it yet, or if you haven't watched any yet, developer update is basically Jeff Kaplan, the director, talking to the people who are watching it and telling them what's going to be coming in the upcoming updates. And this next one seems like it's going to be a big one. It is going to be what's called Role Que. Now, this has been begged for years by many players. It's been criticized for years, and I think finally they've realized that it's probably better off if it's in the game than not in the game. So, Role Que is basically where you queue up in a quick play or competitive game for a certain role, and you're limited to that role. And in each game, there can only be 2 damage, 2 support, and 2 tank. And I feel like this system is very similar to an old system that got added, and that added more constraints, and that was taken in the same feedback, which was taking away no limits. Now, whether what side of the coin you're on, whether you love it or hate it, I think most people can agree this is very similar to the no limit situation, where in the beginning of the game, there was no limits on how many of one character can be played. You could have a 6-stack of all Torbjorns on one team, and it was just absolute chaos. And I think the game was more like you can have just more hilarious team comps, like you can just do 6 hooks at once, for say, on Ilios, or you could do, say, like a Symmetra gate, where you put like where you put all 6 of your Symmetra turrets around one gate, and then you have all the other 5 Symmetras, put all 6 of their turrets around that one choke point, and you just kill everything. But this was taken out after I think it was about a year in the game, or it might be 2 years, I'm not 100% sure, but it was taken about the same. There were the OGs who really hated it, and the new players who really liked it, and there were the new players who were just getting used to the old system, and there were a lot of people that were divided on whether or not this was a good thing. But in the end, I think it turned out to be a good thing, and it turned out that this was a good change, and that it progressed the game and made it so that the game can be more restrictive, yes, but more strategic. You wouldn't be playing 6 hogs on a map, because you couldn't do that anymore, which is just more restrictive, but as I said, but it's so much less of just bad team comps and troll picking and a lot of that stuff. And in the years after that, they had started making reworks and changing the game a lot. But then in the 4th year of Overwatch, the year we're starting right now, as the summer game event comes out, people start realizing, wait, there's only 4 legendary skins. What's going on? When there's usually between, I think it was 7 and 9 legendary skins. And the reason for this is because instead of working on more legendary skins, they were working on the brand new Role Que system. A system that would fundamentally change the entire game. And so many people are on different sides of the coin. Some people hate it, absolutely, and say they're going to quit the game because of it. Some people love it and say they're going to come back to the game because of it. And that's why they quit in the first place, because it wasn't there. And there's just so many opinions, and I think in the end, it's not going to change the game that much. It's going to be like the No Limits, in my opinion. It's going to fundamentally change the game, but it's still the same game through and through. And those players who are leaving because of this Role Que thing aren't going to leave permanently. They'll eventually come back to the game because they'll realize that this isn't such a big deal as they made it out to be. And those players who are coming back to the game just because of Role Que might stay for a while, but really don't belong with the game. And if they thought that was the reason why the game was bad, then they should really find a new game to play with. Okay, that was a long rant. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I think that Role Que will be a positive change in the community, and it'll really fundamentally change Overwatch. I think it'll, as Jeff said, lead to more creative team compositions where you're restricted. And I think that even though you're restricted, you're still going to be able to play games like you were supposed to and win games with this. And even though you're going to be highly restricted on what you can play, it's still going to be Overwatch, and we're still going to have the same amount of fun that we do nowadays. And even if you love it or you hate it, it's still the same game. So in conclusion, I might seem pretty pro Role Que, and I brought up a lot of pro points, but I'm actually pretty neutral on it. I don't think it'll change the game. Well, I do think it'll change the game a lot, but I don't think that it's such a big deal. Like, I feel like a lot of people are making it out to be such a big deal, and it's not really. It's gonna fundamentally change the game, yes, but really, does it change Overwatch? Does it make it a different game? No. Overwatch is a very special experience that only a few games can even get close to, such as TF2 and Paladins maybe, but that's pushing it a little. Anyway, I think that Overwatch is still going to be the same fun game that we've been playing for 4 years, or some of you new players for 1 year, or even less maybe. But it's still going to be the same game, and we're still going to be able to play in the way that we love to play Overwatch. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing and liking, but you don't have to. I'm not forcing you to. I mean, it's just a YouTube video. I can't find out who you are. Anyway, thanks for watching. Just remember to eat your carrots, consume your pie, and please subscribe.